All right, let's get into the corruption that is setting foot in our nation, in our world. And let's get into the Secretary of Defense being gone and the woman being in power. And I have told you these types of things are going to be coming. And I believe that we are starting a new movie and such, in a matter of speaking, because we're about to break open that new 89 Back to the Future Part 2. And that's when Back to the Future Part 2 came out, was 1989. And we're in the 88 time cycle. And we're about to be replaying COVID. It's going to be playing forward, but in a flip and a reverse or whatever. And then also we're going to have the combination of COVID and whatever else is going to be playing out, like with the corruption, okay? I told you I was a little bit ahead of my time, but we're here, okay, folks? So, buckle up. So Germany, the country, the tractors, they brought in the manure and shit. And this was bringing in that start of the corruption, signaling it was time through the spirit of man and that it was about to break forth. Okay, so the kings of earth who run the world, they read these signs, they hear the prophecy, and then they see the signs, and then they know what time to release the world stage, okay? And what part of the world stage is here and all those things, okay? Because things were set up prematurely for the world stage, and everybody's an actor, okay? Everywhere you go is a show. So if you don't know you're participating in the world stage, and you're following that world stage, they're showing you that lie, then at some point reality flips on that person who believes the lie, and that lie becomes the truth. And when the truth breaks forth, that's when all hell breaks loose. Okay? So as all hell breaks loose, the dawn is there to cool you and to bring you in to one area. For those of you who make it up. Because he's been promised his land, he's been promised his nation. And he has to divide the Red Sea. And he has to divide the waters and such for his people to cross through. And in order for his people to cross through the waters, they got to go to the cross. Okay? So, corruption setting forth. It's landing in Portland. All right? It's the start of it. So, I told you way back when that America's going to be at a weak spot, and the woman's going to come into power, and she's going to be doing some things that's not good for this nation. All right. The Secretary of Defense, the Pentagon and such, he's in the hospital. He's been there for a little bit. And the woman, we're not being told basically, but when you put two and two together with the news that's been going on and such, my wife, she pointed out that this woman has been bombing the shit out of people. Okay? So, this kind of plays into that reflection I told you way back when. And what I see is they're probably not going to be telling people that she's been doing these things per se, okay? But that really doesn't matter, because the reflection comes to where Biden ends his time and Kamala comes up. All right. And at the beginning of Biden, he went to the hospital. We knew about it. Kamala went in power. Nothing happened really. And then this time, the Secretary of Defense, this is part of that Victoria's Secret, that kinds of stuff. But that we've been trying to figure out the secret. And he's also the Lloyd. He's Lloyd Austin III. So that's the 1, 2, 3 lines for the World War III such and the 9/11. But the Lloyd ties to the Christopher Lloyd for the Back to the Future. Okay? And the 89 Back to the Future, 1/8/24. The king will be 89, and he'll be 47 years dead. Or not 47 years dead. He's coming up on 47 years dead on the 8/18 of this year. All right? So, he's 46 years dead, and Biden is the 46th. All right? So all these things have to work out. He was also born in Mobile, the phone, Alabama, and that's short for AL, the AI, in a capital, the Capitol. And we're in the time where Pluto and is moving in and out of Capricorn or whatever. And this is causing that balance or whatever. And this is why Trump has to come back during certain times. And then after he comes back and does what he does through the divide, and then that's when Pluto comes back. And then we go into that 20 years of Pluto where it's a big, huge change and all that good stuff. Okay. So the Secretary of Defense is the 28th Defense Secretary, the 2/8 for the 1/28 peace deal on 2020. And then the 28 ties to the 8/18. That's the 2 8s on there for Elvis's death date. And he was born on 1/8/35. And that 1/8/35, the 3/5 makes the 8. So that's the 188. Okay. So his wife is Charlene. Okay. His wife Charlene, she has the lean. I told y'all way back when in a post will be looking for the lean. And we got the Kathleen for the Kathleen Ann Holland Hicks or whatever, however it goes. Either way, that's the deputy, and she ties to the Day Pooty, the Pooty Tang. And then also the Putty for Putin. Lloyd Austin, he was born on 8/8/53. Okay? So that's the 888. And Kathleen, she is 53 years old. Okay? And she was born on 9/25/70. So that's 9/2, and that's the 7/25, that's the 7, and then the 70, that's the 7 with a crown, so that's the 777 jackpot. Okay, so we've been waiting for the jackpot to line up. We've been waiting for all these little things, or little trinkets on the clock to align us to a time, and then once it gets to that time, bam, and then it starts, boom, boom, and then there's the connection point of the two times. All right. You got this end, and you got to tie them together, all right? And we have to go through that knot, all right? So there's the future that is to come, and there's the one that is not on the other side of it. So, so Tom Cotton is also part of this. He's 46 years old, the 46th to Biden, and the hanging on the cross and those things. And he's from the Arkansas, and that has the Oz Arcs. All right, folks. So he was born in the I can't even say it. Dardanelli or whatever, but it has the Dare or the Rad on the flip side, and the Daniel for the Book of Daniel, because we're in that middle time frame of going from the 70 weeks of Daniel to the Revelation time frame, and the end of 70 weeks of Daniel ends on 7/20/24, and we have we're in the 22 year of 9/11, so that's the Revelation 22, getting up to the alphabet in a couple years and such. So all these things are aligning up with shit going to the fan, and the BRICS coming, and the collapse of the dollar, and the corruption setting forth to help that Mesopotamia. The Mesopotamia is for the POTUS, the position in presidency. The Mesopotamia is for the Bud Light that's been lit. And then the stuff with the pot that's going to be coming, I assume, with the corruption and fecal disease or whatever, this can be taking out some type of industry and moving it into the hands of the pharmaceutical industry, and then they can reschedule it, and then all this kind of done at one time, and then the pharmaceutical industry takes over the medical side of the cannabis, okay? And a lot of it, because they've already brainwashed people with the white lab coats and the testing and the gloves and all this fucking nonsense that's out there. All brainwashing. Thank you, High Times. Sellouts. Either way, that's a whole nother story. So the corruption is going to be helping the collapse of the dollar as well. And you're basically going to be having to use all the trillions of dollars coming back as toilet paper, because nobody wants the dollar anymore, because the dollar can't be used to buy oil. So it's basically virtually worthless. All right. On one side, on this end. Okay. And then in the future, they're setting things up. Okay. But so the let's get into something real quick with the ham, the pigs flying, and hell freezing over, and all those things. Okay, so my buddy, whose dad just happens to be very wealthy, and I just happened to be friends with him from youth group in high school and all these things, and I was very fortunate to be blessed by some of the things that he did for me. Anyways, when we went to Vegas for his bachelor party, we flew out on Virgin Air, and then we flew back on a private jet with his dad and such, and his cousin and uncles and whatever, right? So that's the only time I ever flown on a private jet. And during this private jet time, I learned something, because it was after the 9/11 time, and I could not believe it at all. But you can virtually, no, not virtually, you can go from your car with whatever bags you want and load it onto planes and take off. No TSA check, no nothing. Okay? So think about this. These people have been coming here for however long. Doesn't matter. Trojan horse has been setting up. It's on that fast drive right now, but these people have been learning how to, and we saw this with 9/11. But they learn how to operate the machinery, and they can go fly. Okay? So this is part of that sequence where I saw just shit coming down everywhere, and parachutes coming down everywhere, and this is where you'd want that gun, tack, 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 so you can take them all out. All right, 25 more. Tack, 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 tack. All right. So it's all kind of lining up with kind of what's going on now, and how we can get that that flip and reverse on these things. Okay, folks. But we're gonna end it here because of time.